Hey folks, here I am on a beautiful day out in the park. Decided to do another video for you. Back in 2012, I was sent to the hospital because I was anemic, and I was very anemic. So they wanted to find out where all the red blood cells went, and in the process, looking for the hole, so to speak, they found a tumor on my colon. So I ended up with colon cancer, and it all happened so fast that I didn't have time to think about it, to pray about it, whatever. I mean, they just removed the thing, and I was home in like 2 days. But the oncologist, being an oncologist, told me I needed to do chemo, and so being the maverick person I am, while I was at home, I started doing research. So I learned some things. Here's some things I want to share with you, and you can research it for yourself. But first of all, the simple explanation about cancer is that we all have cells in our body that multiply. Every day there's gazillions of them multiplying. They are very strictly programmed by DNA, but every once in a while something screws up. One of the cells becomes what's called a rogue cell. But miraculously, our cells are also designed, if they do not duplicate into the cell they're supposed to be, they commit what's called apoptosis. They commit suicide. However, sometimes that doesn't happen, so our immune system will identify these cells as being foreign and take them out. Occasionally, these cells will hide from the immune system, and that's when the cancer growth begins. So if our immune system isn't healthy and our body isn't, then cancer can grow. So I also, in the process, read about some research that was done at MD Anderson right here in Houston, the biggest cancer facility in the country, if not the world. And they had tested a spice called curcumin, or turmeric. One is sort of a derivative of the other. And they basically had a petri dish of breast cancer cells, and they dropped this stuff in there, and the cancer cells committed suicide. Now remember, the spice isn't toxic. It doesn't kill the cells. It just tells them to do what they're supposed to do. It reprograms the cells to either commit suicide, or when it's happening in your body, it will cause the cells to identify themselves to the immune system. Okay, so I found that this stuff has been researched all over the world, especially outside our controlled cancer system here in America. But it has been known for quite a while that it is basically a cancer fighter. It's typically an antioxidant, but the way it works is exactly what I described. It causes these rogue cells to self-destruct or identify themselves in the immune system. So I started taking curcumin. I found a pure capsule that doesn't have any adulterants, and it has in it what they say it has in it. It's been lab tested for that. And it also has some pepper, black pepper, because black pepper helps it to absorb better. But I've been doing this now for 4 years, and so far the last test I had, I'm still clear. And I had no chemo, no radiation. I turned down the chemo because it can cause neurological damage, and I certainly don't need my brain messed up anymore than it already is. But here's an interesting thing I ran across in Popular Science magazine. They had a little article there, and you can see it below this video on my webpage here, that the cancer industry is now suddenly discovering what they call immunotherapy. And as I read what this new drug is supposed to do, it's exactly what curcumin and turmeric does. So my assumption is that the MD Anderson research on the curcumin proved that, hey, this is a cancer killer. But the drug companies can't make tons of money off of that, so they've got to make a synthetic version so they can sell it to you for tons of money. And trust me, if it's a cancer cure or cancer killer, it's going to be incredibly expensive. It's also going to be a while before it's available, because it has to go through all the tests and yada yada, an approval process, and then the insurance companies have to be willing to pay for it, and so forth, so on. So my advice to you, if you're a maverick like me especially, is don't just accept the status quo junk. Do some research. Research curcumin, turmeric, however you want to look it up, and get some from. I buy mine from a company. I'll share that on the page as well. But it can save your life. Even if you don't have cancer, it can help prevent cancer cells from growing in your body. So think about it, research it for yourself, and try to avoid toxic chemo that wreaks all kinds of havoc on your body. And stay healthy, stay well, and be blessed. Thank you, folks.